Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Look, I keep it low to the T. UBK play for kings. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck and my youngin' this sweet. This a whole nother way. Go ahead. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. Go ahead. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Nigga come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Go ahead. This shit is too easy. I'm on gold, but they don't believe it. You know I'm winning with the team. Screaming, Vinny, 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 V's. Need them devils screaming out bloody murder. I'm about to close the curtain. I'm on my grind, bitch, I'm working. Sorry, all them lies, it ain't working. Them niggas weak, they be searching. I'm a West nigga, that's for certain. If they cross the line, I'm gonna back up and I'ma hit his ass with his virus. And I come through 300 strong, 144 Leonidas. All my niggas, we eat. I'm in this bitch with the itis. Say, all y'all do the sweet. Tell y'all to do the sweet. The nigga made the wrong move, he make his ass out the league. He ain't one of us, hit the league. He ain't one of us, he a preach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Go ahead. I keep it low to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Nigga come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat.
You see this look that's on my face, bitch, I'm for real with it. I hit the streets, put on my clips, was in the field with it. You soft as cotton, just an actor, Uncle Phil with it. And then my targets on the move, but I can still hit it. Hey, I speak true cause it's necessary. Gullah Jack revolutionary. Cold on them like January. Commander General is a visionary. Soul food, no sweets. Your preacher man, he sweet. Matter of fact, he weak. It's wartime for peace. Think you hard, nigga, you ain't. Fuck with us, nigga, you can't. You smart cars, we takes. We form up in ranks. We body bag this rap shit. All black, no bright shit. Real life, no cap, bitch. Fall on them, that's cap shit.
But I keep it low to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Nigga come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Go ahead.
I ain't have to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. Then we seen the rise of the devil. We fell for the lies of the devil. When we got high was the devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. I ain't have to die to meet the devil.
I remember I was only 13 when I met the demon. Gave me a deuce and a bundle of cocaine. Told me to sell to my people, make sure you keep them fiending. If any try to short you, make sure that you leave them leaking. He said,
I'ma hold you down when problems pop up.
How you got me moving this dope? Want me in lockup? He said,
Don't you want the Benz vertible with the top cup?
Yeah.
Stop bitching, get in that kitchen, let it rock up. Bitches love the dope boy, especially when it's clock up. I know you know Ron.
Who the plug from by the block up?
I'll tell you a little secret, make sure that you keep your mouth shut. Ron got a Lexus, crib in Philly and Texas. Trip to the Bahamas, just got a whip for his mama. He fucking up them commas, be honest, he seeing decent dope.
I hear you, but I just seen Ron about a week ago. In fact, he ain't looking too good. His knees is kinda slow. I asked him why the struggle, he got stuck up for his bundle. But them 6 hollow tips in his legs what made him crumble.
At least he got the house and mama is living good.
Said the feds took it all, he right back in the hood. I see you try to play me. You gave us crack in the 80s, made us abort our babies and making hoes out our ladies. I know you got me gravy, but Satan, you must be crazy. It's gonna take more than them cars when to amaze me. I seen niggas shoot for the stars, but being lazy. Never get their head at the clouds, so you don't faze me.
I guarantee that you gon' regret it. Remember I said it.
Nah, you could dead it.
What you saying? I can't win?
Nah, devil, nice try. So until we meet again,
I ain't have to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. Then we seen the rise of the devil. We fell for the lies of the devil. When we got high was the devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. I ain't have to die to meet the devil. I ain't religious or superstitious, but we been getting fucked and put to the side like a mistress. Police patrolling because prison became a business. They murder one of ours and they start talking about forgiveness. We think that it's alright because we got public assistance. If this ain't hell, dog, what is this? Where was all lives mattered when they killed Osama? There was no peace talk like the Dalai Lama. Bush dropping bombs saying he gon' bring the drama. They got justice, man, they even caught the Boston bomber. But when we ride, they send the military in armor. When we fight oppression, then our people die a martyr. You reap what you sow, some people call it karma. When Christ return, y'all gon' get this harvest like a farmer. Don't tell me don't bring up the past no more. They still trying to settle the score with a side of Shakur. I changed my life and I'm just trying to live life right. But at night I look behind me and see flashing lights, patting me down. You got nothing that's poking me right. I don't smoke or push pills, I gave up my vice. So Mr. Officer, why you wanna take my life? And your honor, why you gave a homeboy's life? I've been wondering why you shot a homeboy twice. Pussy with a gun screaming out that he got a knife. He came from Habibi's spot, it was chicken and rice. Shit's trife, I'm just giving visuals like Skype. Ask Trayvon, Mike Brown, Akai Gurley, Eric Garner, Sean Bell, Philando Alton, Sterling, Jaquan McDonald. The white man is so devilish. Ask Hammurabi, he'll tell you who the devil is. The white man is so devilish. Ask Hammurabi, he'll tell you who the devil is. I ain't have to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. Then we seen the rise of the devil. We fell for the lies of the devil. When we got high was the devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. I ain't have to die to meet the devil. I ain't have to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. Then we seen the rise of the devil. I pray for the demise of the devil. Lord knows I despise every devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil and said, I pray you die, every devil.
We good? That's what. All right. Let me get his Facebook up. It should be up. All right. Let's get it on, man. We the Isupk, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, start out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana, teaching the truth about the Bible and the biblical prophecies, man, and trying to rid, you understand, Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians with the lies that has been fluctuated throughout the earth by white America and Christianity and Roman policies and just free our people from these conditions that we've been living in, you understand, called hell here in America. You understand? And what we're gonna get into today, man, is a real heavy topic. You understand? This being a brotherhood class, this topic is very heavy to me because this, you understand, this idea is something that is very foreign to the hearts and the minds of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians to a certain extent. You understand? Like we and what I'm talking about is loyalty, of course. You understand? And loyalty is something that is very, very You understand? Like it's very, very necessary when it comes to building up a nation, because disloyalty will have, you understand, blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians to continue to stay in slavery here in America forever. You understand? This, no, I'm too wild, too wild. Our disloyalty to each other. You understand? Our disloyalty to each other only means that our oppressors and heathen nations that are around us will continue to be rich and continue to grow off of our disloyalty to each other. You understand? Also, our disloyalty to the Most High. You understand? Our disloyalty to the Lord is also going to allow for our Father to not come and fight for us, for him to not come and send his angels to come and free us from this hell. You understand? From under the foot of America, man. You understand? So that's why blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians have to understand what it means to be loyal and how to practice that loyalty and give it back to the Most High. You understand? Instead of giving it to, you understand, your favorite football team or your favorite box of cereal or whatever the hell other stupid thing that we love to fight so much for and kill each other over. What else do we fight over? That one, the stupid. Your favorite rap artist, you know, the favorite side of America you live on. You understand? Like we have so much of a loyalty over West over East that we kill each other over it, and it's stupid. It's all stupid. You understand? And which is why in the Isupk we teach exactly what we should have our loyalty to. You understand? And that's to the Most High in Christ, man. You understand? That's where our loyalty should be. So we gonna start off with a scripture, right? You understand? You sure? If you need to do something, I can go ahead and read it real quick. Kind of. We're gonna start off with one scripture that I always start off for. And again, after this, if start getting your questions and your comments ready. If you got any questions, if you online, right? If you're online, you got a question, let's type your question in the chat. It'll be seen and we'll read it out loud so that everyone can hear the question, and then we'll answer it. You understand? If possible, if we have enough time, we'll answer it. Whether it's off topic or if it's on topic, it doesn't matter what the question is. Just ask it on. That's for Facebook, Instagram, you understand, YouTube, whatever other social media is up here. There's so many, I'll be forgetting all the names of them. You understand? But so get your questions ready. But if I could, I'll get this Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1.
This is the book of Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. Now, I'll bring this scripture out every time before I teach this class. However, this scripture is very prominent in this topic. You understand? Because the whole point of these words and these records in this Bible, you understand, it's to help us and to show us how we can rid ourselves of these conditions that we're living in. You understand? Like the whole point of knowing what Jonas went through, the whole point of knowing what Peter went through and Job went through and what Christ went through is to see what they went through, to learn from them and learn from their experiences, their mistakes, and their achievements, and to use that, you understand, to follow the orders and that the Lord has given us. You understand? So when it comes to, you understand, like I know in the world we hear a lot of people talking about buy black, understand, buy black businesses and spend money with black people, and that's a very much Tawab thing to do. And the brothers and sisters who are in the world who are practicing that, you should 100% continue to practice to buy black. You understand? While we on the topic, you should nobody on there who has all this money to buy all these things out here in the world should ever buy Dove soap or what's the other stuff? Bed Bath and Beyond products and with the Louis Vuitton fragrances and oils and stuff like that. You should be buying Camp Tazariak and Lily's Creations, man. Go up online on Etsy, get with that brother, man, and spend your money with him, a brother who's not just black, but a brother who is out here risking his life to save blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians all across this earth. You understand? You should buy black buy your body butters and body oils and all that good stuff from Camp Cesaria. Understand? I had to plug that in there. But however, we should continue. You understand? You should continue to buy black. You understand? Go to black restaurants. You understand? Buy black clothes and pay the full price. And spend money with black designers and all that good stuff. However, you should take it a step further, right? You shouldn't not only just buy for black people, you should also only marry a black man if you're a black woman, right? You should also only marry a black woman if you're a black man. You understand? Like, this is what the Lord is telling us. It's telling us to gather together as a nation of people. Nowhere in this Bible is it telling us to go and love any other nation. You understand? That is what Christianity has taught us. But of course, Christianity is not teaching us God's words. You understand? Because there's nowhere in this Bible that says to love everybody equally. It's not there. You understand? That for as long as since 1969, we've been waiting on somebody to show us the scripture that tells us that God says to love everybody and treat everybody equally, and this, that, and the third that they push in the Christian church. They do not push that. You understand? In the Bible, we should love each other. You understand? It should be black families that stay together. You understand? It should be black businesses that are thriving and growing in America. It should be black neighborhoods and black communities that are thriving in America. You understand? But the reason why we can't have this, the reason why we can't have black communities and black households and black families that stay together is because we have a disloyalty towards each other. You understand? We don't know how to treat each other like family. You understand? We go into a black restaurant and the second they mess up an order, you know what we say? See, this is why I don't like dealing with black people. No, this is why I don't like dealing with niggas. Right, that's right. It turns into niggas. You understand? The second the hot dog price is 50 cents above what you can buy from the dog house. This is why I don't like going to niggas, because it costs too much to spend with niggas. Meanwhile, we go and spend $800 on a pair of shoes from Louis Vuitton or from Balenciaga. You understand? And then we get racially profiled inside of their stores and arrested and beaten and killed by police from shopping in their stores because of the color of our skin. But yet we will still save up a whole month check just to buy a pair of sneakers from them. To just, I don't know what the hell it does. You understand? I guess it makes you look like you have money. Right. Yeah, go ahead. Because
if I made what you're saying, it's heavy because really we so selfish, you know what I'm saying, and so concerned about ourselves that we're gonna spend $800 on Balenciagas because everybody know what Balenciagas look like. Everybody knows what Louis V's look like. So when I buy them, it's about me looking fresh and me looking like I'm rich, and I want everybody to see it, so they're gonna see it and know it. But if I get, you know what I'm saying, John's sneakers.
I seen a sis, I think it was a sis I seen who has a sneaker or something like that. And they was called, what was this shoe called? I think I seen it on Instagram. It was a shoe, man. I wish I could remember, because I would definitely plug it in here. But I think there's either a brother or a sister with a shoe out here, and it's somewhere around here in North Carolina. And they have a shoe. If I can remember later, I'll definitely plug it in. But it's a shoe out here that brothers and sisters go ahead and buy. It may be a workout shoe or something like that, which is something I would definitely invest my money into. But Salah, keep going with you.
I was just gonna say, and it's like, in the Isupk, we're trained to be no cowards, right? So it's not easy, but it's within us because we're trained to do it. To go out, this shirt I'm wearing don't got a logo on it. You know what I'm saying? These boots, these are just combat boots and so on and so forth. The cargo pants might cost you $15, $20. And you know what I mean? You still gonna look UPK fresh because we're taught that way. But in the world, you know how it is. From a young age, you taught, even if you wear the wrong, you know what I'm saying, oppressor sneaker, they're gonna look at you funny. So, you know what I mean? But at the very least, people know, Converse, people know Fila, they know it exists. But you go wear some brother or sister's sneaker that no one has ever heard of, our people a lot of times be worried about how it's gonna make them look. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying it's Tawab, but at some point, if we want to get out of this captivity and we want to, rise above this oppression, then we got to stop giving so much credence to these oppressors' labels and everything. Like whatever they make, we just think it's hot. It could be the ugliest, stupidest, horrible looking thing ever, but they slap a $900 price tag on it, and a rapper is going to buy it. It's like
right, yeah, and that's the problem again, is that we like give me Proverbs 3:31 real quick. You understand? Because this is a growing problem, man. That has been just fluctuated throughout the Black community, man. That we don't understand. That it's like a disease, man. It's like a cancer for Black people. You understand? Just let me know when you got it. Yeah, you can read what you got.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 31. Mm-hmm. Envy thou not the oppressor.
Envy thou not the oppressor, man. Like that's so heavy, and that we have to think of, like, you got to think about all of the things that we dream to acquire or to obtain in America, and we got to start thinking like, okay, why is it that Louis Vuitton is the goal to get? Why is it that Gucci drip down in Gucci is the thing that makes us fly or popping, right? Is it because Gucci is that nigga? Like with Jordans, I can understand it. I can honestly understand why you would stand in a line for a pair of Jordans, more so than a pair of Gucci's, because the shoes that you wearing when you get them mean something. Right. Like you put on a pair of the Flu Game 12s, even though it may not be the same shoe that he wore, but you look at those shoes, you'd be like, man, MJ was sick when he was playing against Utah on these though, and he went and dropped however many and beat them while he had the flu or stomach virus, whatever the hell he had, the food poisoning, right? But it means something. It means something to have these shoes and to reference it to a brother who actually did something great in this hell. You understand? But Gucci, what the hell did Gucci do that everybody's like, yeah, buy them Gucci shoes? Like, I'm asking seriously. Maybe Gucci jumped off the Empire State Building and lived. I don't know.
If I may, most you know what I'm saying, these like fashion houses in Europe and Italy, they just kind of established like a brand identity with rich people, with rich oppressors, you know, in the 1800s, early 1900s, and things like that. And basically, it's just once niggas started to get some money, you know, the people they was rubbing elbows with, you know what I'm saying, that's the kind of stuff they saw them wearing. And so, and it really, really took off when, you know, I think, you know, in like hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Like at a certain point in a certain point in hip hop, it was a time in hip hop where it was fashionable to wear black clothing lines, called Canard, right? You know, in the 80s, Dapper Dan, right? But to keep it real, rappers like Jay-Z started to be the first ones to be like
a traitor.
Yeah, kind of. He was one of the first people to be like, yo, like, nah, I'm wearing, you know what I'm saying, fly suits by this Italian person.
And you know what's so sad about that? Is because Jay-Z didn't do that on his own.
Of course not.
He didn't. You understand? Some rich white dude emailed, or they didn't email him. They came up to him one day and said, look, man, we'll give you $250,000. Just start wearing this. You don't even have to pay for it. We're going to give you this stuff. Put it in your music videos. Put it on the songs that we talk about on the songs, and start pushing Louis, Fendi, Gucci, Prada, whatever. And we're going to pay you to do that. And of course, because everybody loves Jay-Z, who is actually prominent in the black community, we follow after him, and he leads us right back to our oppressor when we're fighting to go away. So, like, you, not to cut you off.
No, bro, that's all I got, man. It's disgusting, but concert, like, what how, like, I mean, how many rappers have you seen, like, and it's funny to me, like, Mesa, it's funny to see some of these rappers, because, like, especially, like, no offense, but some of, like, the Southern rappers, like, when I see, like,
blame it on the Southern boys.
No, I'm just saying, it's like, when I see dudes like Gunna and them, and they be wearing, like, Gucci purses, I'm like, what? Like, that is, like, so, I can kind of get why a New York dude would wear a Balenciaga. I kind of get it. You know what I'm saying? Fifth Avenue is right there. Madison Avenue is right there. I kind of get it. Right. You're around it. Some dude from the ghetto, like the country of, like, Tupelo, Mississippi, and he has a Gucci bag.
Yeah, to travel to get the bag.
Right. I just don't get it. But concert, like we really want to be them. Salaki.
Yeah, man. And it's like we envying them for no reason at all. You understand? Like Gucci, Fendi, Prada, none of the owners or the creators of these different fashion brands or companies or whatever you would call it have ever, for one, did anything for black people. For two, they're not even cool. You understand? Like we just brought out, you look at half of these big boat shoes and you understand? Like, first of all, that's not even a culture of blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indian. Our culture is Salakia, running away from the police. You understand? Like, who the hell you got these big boats on your feet selling drugs? The police gonna say, which one was it? Yeah, the one with the big Balenciaga shoes, the lime green Balenciaga shoes on his feet. You out there looking stupid, man. It's very retarded. And in every way that you think about it, you understand, by putting money back into our president's hands so they can furthermore oppress us. And you also taking money from brothers and sisters out here who is actually trying, you understand, to build up these black communities that we claim to love so much.
That's right.
You understand? But the problem with blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians is that we lack loyalty to one another, man. You understand?
John,
go ahead.
Salakia, sir. One more Salakia, sir.
No, you good.
But what you saying is so heavy because right in what you just said, you just broke down decades of the fact that at the end of the day, black people set the trends.
Right.
So those rappers could very easily take some black person's brand, put it on, and rap about it in a song. Yeah. And overnight, half of the hood would be like, yo, I got to get these. Yo, I got to get that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it basically happened with Jordans. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what happened. It wasn't a bunch of white people lining up. Some of them did, but it was Spike Lee and people like that making it like, yo, like you got to get them.
Right. Making it prominent in the black community. But you understand, like, what if that was just our mindset with everything? You understand? Like you got to think about the mountains that we could climb as a nation of people if we would just start to have the mindset that, like, okay, we seen, like, especially when you looking at these celebrities and rap artists and all these people with all this money, like, one of the most disgusting things that, you know, disgust me is the fact that, like, you look at these I don't know, Vietnamese or whatever the hell they are, but these what you call them, like Johnny Dang, right? And the owners of the people at the Icebox, man, and all the love that they getting from these rappers. And it's like, man, like, if you watch those videos of Johnny Dang, like, you can't even understand this nigga, man. Like, I don't, like, you watch the video, he coming in, he's like, yeah, me, money back, yo. Like, how the hell can you talk to this nigga, man? Like, and it's disgusting. Like, why not take your man that's in the ghetto, like your man, you understand, who knows about every nigga got that man who just know about the bling, you understand, know about, why don't you set him up? Oh, you just went into Johnny Dang's store and you just spent a $250,000 to $500,000 on chains, watches, rings, whatever. You don't need you need a fraction of that money to start up a jewelry store. That's right. A fraction. A fraction of $500,000 to start up $100,000. You can easily start up a jewelry store, corporation, get a storefront, get some diamonds, get some people to come in there and work and place rocks and stones and make custom pieces and whatever the hell else you want to do. And then you can go to that same man who you just put on to get the exact same pieces that you was about to get from Johnny Dang. You understand? And you can make videos with him, with a nigga who understands you. Because again, like we just said, who sets the trends in the black community? We do. So why would you go to some dude from Vietnamese or some dude from China who's been in America for all of 8 years to try to figure out what's hot in the black community? It does not make sense. It doesn't make sense. You understand? I'd rather go to the nigga who is dealing with black women, who's going to black clubs that I'm going to be at, who's living in black neighborhoods that I'm living in, and let him tell me, yo, man, look, Cuban links was popping right now. You understand? Double-sided Cuban links was popping with the locks in the back, whatever the hell it would have been. But that's just it makes for a better business for blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians to have that mindset. Of course, those rich rappers don't love their friends. That's right. They don't love them. You understand? They don't love the people that surround them. They don't love their family members, right? How many times do you hear about, when I got rich, I put my people on, I just gave them $100,000. You understand? Why don't we build up businesses and things like that so that we can, you know, keep keep money being pushed into black communities to fight back against what you call it, gentrification.
Right.
You understand? Like that's what we should be doing. But of course, we'd rather envy our president. We could read that one more time.
John, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 21. It's like not 3, it's like here. Which one is it? 3, it's like here. The book of Proverbs 3 and verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
And choose none of his ways, man. You understand? But don't envy our oppressor, man. You understand? We could drop that. Go back to Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
You understand? Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, or otherwise known as the children of Israel. You understand? We are ordered and commanded by the Lord to gather together, man.
That's
You understand? To come back together, to love each other, and to love nobody else. You understand? Thus saith the Lord.
That's right.
You understand? Under the Isupk.
Damn right.
You understand? Under Commander General Yohana.
That's right.
Right? That's the only way. Right? And a lot of people will say what? A lot of people will say, well, why does it have to be in the Isupk? Why is it got to be here that we have to gather together? Why can't it be RGB, or why can't it be some other fake Israelite group or whatever the hell? I think it was somebody in the sister. I ain't gonna say no name, but a sister who had posted, you understand, like a Lashawan Quadash video of some fake Israelite camp. You understand, who is just all disgusting in all ways. And of course, the sister didn't understand why posting that is detrimental to not the school, but to her integrity. You understand? She doesn't understand how that shows a bit of disloyalty to the men who have saved her life from hell and from whoredom and witchcraft and death by the hands of our oppressor. You understand? And that's what we're gonna go into today, is why the Isupk stance comes. You understand? Why we say that we are not affiliated with no other Hebrew Israelite group, and why, you understand, once you take that oath to be a part of the ranks of the Isupk, then that oath, you understand, is set for life. You understand? It's solid and it cannot be changed. But before we go there, if there's anybody online who got any questions, go ahead and type it now. That's what.
One brother did have a question about where's the scripture that says that Joseph was Christ's father?
Hold on 1 second. That's online now or the previous?
Online.
Now, just so I answer the question, is he still there? Just so I answer the question correctly. Like, okay, you asking, how do we know that Joseph was Christ's father? Now,
Nala, he said, this is young man Victor. He says, Salaki Adawan, can I get the verse that says Joseph is Christ's father? I just wanted to know the exact verse to use.
okay. So he's okay, I got you. So he's not asking
John, he's not,
if
he's just saying, where's the scripture?
Got you. I mean, you go to Matthew 1:16, maybe Luke 3 or something, I think. Hold on. No, well, read that one and then we're gonna go to Luke 23. Yeah, you could do that one too.
Okay. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 1 and verse, start at 16.
Yeah.
Okay. The book of Matthew, chapter 1 and verse 16. And Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Yahushua.
All right. So right there, this shows you that Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary. You understand? Of course, to be the husband of somebody means you have to do what? You have to have sex with them. You understand? Which just proves furthermore that Joseph and Mary had sex, of which from them having sex begot Yahushua or Jesus Christ. All right. So you can go there, or you can go to Luke 3 and 23. Yeah, Luke 3 and 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 3 and verse 23. And Yahushua himself began to be about 30 years of age, being, as was supposed, the son of Joseph.
So he was the son of who?
The son of Joseph.
So Christ being about 30 years of age, you understand, he was being, as was supposed, the son of Joseph. You understand? This is Christ. You understand? The son of Joseph. So if you wanted to show somebody where it says that Christ was the son of Joseph, you could take them to Matthew 1 and 16, where it says that Joseph and Mary begot Yahushua, Jesus Christ, or you can show in Luke 3 and 23, where it says that Jesus himself began to be about 30 years of age, being, as was supposed, the son of Joseph. You understand? You go to either one of those. You had another one?
If I may, sir.
Yeah, you go ahead.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 13 and verse 55. Is not this the carpenter's son?
Yeah, right. So of course we all know that Joseph was a carpenter. You understand? And it says, if not, is not this the carpenter's son? Keep going.
Is not his mother called Mary?
Is not his mother called Mary? Keep going.
And his brethren, James and Joseph and Simon and Judas?
So this is all talking about what? It's talking about Christ. You understand? His mother, his brother, his brothers. You understand? Right? So it's naming his father, it's naming his mother, and it's also naming his biological brothers. Right? Is there any more? Yeah, kind of. Right. So you could definitely go to any one of those. If you need something else, just type it in the chat, unless that answers your question. Somebody at the door. So I think. Yeah, any other questions online? Yo, man, Vic, I can't see what you're saying right now, but just type in the chat if that answers your question. If you got any other questions, just go ahead and type it in the chat as well. Anybody on Facebook, Instagram, just go ahead and type your questions as well. Someone said, "What is this?" Good. All right, no sweat. What is this? This is a class taught by the Isupk on the Command Junior Hana. That's what this is. Assuming that's what you meant by that question. All right, no sweat. Nothing else? All right, let's get into it. Any other questions? Shalom says, by the way, Salakia. You got any questions, anything you want to say? No sweat. All right, go if you could, brother. If you could get the definition of loyalty to me, for me. Anybody else joining in? If you got any questions at any given time, just go ahead and type it in the chat. I miss that Twitter days, man. I miss them debates. Christians on Twitter are very bold. They more. That's where the powerful Christians at. All these other social media sites got all the weak Christians who don't want to say nothing. They be scared.
Come on. This is the definition of loyalty. The state or quality of being loyal. Faithfulness to commitments or obligations.
What's that? Is that a Google definition?
Dictionary.com.
All right, that's cool. Let me get the Google one. This is a specific word that I'm looking for.
Okay. Try again.
All of those words is correct, though. You understand the state of obligation to be loyal to something, someone, or to an idea.
Back up. For some reason, this computer.
If no sweat, I could read it myself if you ain't got it.
It takes me to Yahoo.
Yeah, no sweat. So loyalty definition is the quality of being loyal, right? Or a strong feeling of support or allegiance. You understand? So for someone to be loyal to something, it means that they have set an allegiance to whatever that thing is. Right? If you are a woman and you have a man that you are loyal to, that means that you have set an allegiance to that man. Now, what does that allegiance mean? Anybody want to take a shot?
It's like, what's your question, sir?
What does it mean to have an allegiance to something or someone?
To have allegiance to something means to, if I'm not mistaken, let me make sure I say this right. Basically, like your allegiance to something means that you give over your authority to that thing, meaning that whatever that entity is what everything you do basically is for. You know what I'm saying? You don't do it for what you for yourself per se. You do it for that thing. You know what I'm saying? You are aligned with that.
Right. So your allegiance to something is a commitment, right? To something that is superior to you. You understand, of a group or a cause. You understand? So if there is a I don't know, what's the word? Not reprimand, but a revolution of some sort. And in this revolution, if you tie your allegiance to this revolution, that means from that point on that your duty, you understand, or fidelity is to be owed to that cause, to that revolution, right? And allegiance is an allegiance something that is forced? Is an allegiance forced? Oh, what'd you say? I don't think so. No. An allegiance is not forced. You understand? And for someone to have an allegiance to something, right, it has to be something that is freely given, right? You freely give your allegiance to a person, place, or thing, or idea, or cause, right? No, you don't force your allegiance to America, right? You give it up freely. You don't force your allegiance to the Most High. You give it up freely. And the Lord won't take it. The Lord won't force your allegiance to him. He wants to know if you'll give it up to him freely, right? Same thing for a woman. You don't give your allegiance to your husband, right? You don't give power to your husband. That's not how, you understand? That's not what we do here, right? As a man, or a man usually wants to have the allegiance of his wife. He usually wants to have the loyalty of his wife, hence the power over his wife. However, you do not force the power from your wife. It is something that she gives to you freely. She freely allows you to tell her what to wear and what not to wear. She freely allows you to tell her what to eat and what not to eat as it pertains to the Most High. She freely allows you to have that power over her. You understand? However, it's something that she has to give to you.
Right.
It's not something you take from her. The loyalty that we have in this truth or to the Most High is no difference. It's no different. You understand? Like the allegiance that we have to this school or to these scriptures is it's something that is given freely, and it's something that is not that you cannot break. You understand? A lot of people don't understand, you know, how what we do here. Yeah, Con, if you could see me one time. That when we do here, like when you come into this school, right? You do your 90 days, and then once you do your 90 days, if you rid yourself from the world, right, you get a Hebrew name that is given to you by the biblical, by the Salaki, by the Hebrew scholars in the school. You understand? Ultimately given to you by the Lord. And there's an anointment poured on your head, and in that anointment, you understand, there is an oath that you sign your name onto. You understand? Verbally unto the Lord. And in that oath, you are freely giving your allegiance unto the Isupk, the one body of Christ. And that allegiance should not be broken. You understand? And this class is going to show you exactly, you understand, for one, what I mean about that allegiance, and for two, why that allegiance should not be broken. Right? Just back in 1 second. The water. So if I could, I'm gonna start here at it's not the one that I want. It's one that I wanted before this one. Might just have to start there. Trying to find her now. Let's just go to Matthew chapter 26. What the hell? Let's start at verse 1.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 26 and verse 1. And it came to pass, when Yahushua had finished all these sayings, he said unto his disciples, verse 2, ye know that after 2 days is the feast of the Passover, and the Son of Man is betrayed to be crucified.
So again, right? This is following. This is pre the crucifixion of Yahushua, Jesus Christ, right? So this is Christ with his disciples, You understand? Teaching them. He's still teaching them, still prophesying unto them, all the way up until that last second, right? Before he was to be crucified. All right, so keep reading. Oh, again, and what and this is a heavy point, but what did he mention 2 days later was going to be?
It's like the Passover.
The Passover. You understand? For everybody who say, did Christ keep the Passover, is right there in front of you for all of those who want to celebrate Christmas because it's, I guess, Christ's birthday, I guess is what they say it is. Yeah, but Christ followed the Passover. You understand? That's what he did. But go ahead, keep reading.
Salaki, verse 3. Then assembled together the chief priests and the scribes and the elders of the people unto the palace of the high priest, who was called Caiaphas. Verse 4. And consulted that they might take Yahushua by subtlety and kill him.
So these priests, right? These Sadducees and Pharisees at this time who hated Christ. They hated what Christ taught because, of course, what Christ taught went against what they were teaching. And these Sadducees and Pharisees at the time were teaching the same thing that your Christian pastors teach today, right? And Christ did not teach that. Christ came to fulfill the law and to teach us how to love each other and how to, you understand, how to serve the Most High correctly. And so because of what Christ was teaching us, they sought out to kill him, right? Keep going.
Verse 5. But they said, not on the feast day, lest there be an uproar among the people.
Not on a feast day, not at the Passover. We can't take him from the Passover because they would make him into a what? If they take him from the Passover and take him in the captive to go kill him, what would that make Christ? Martyr, right? That would make him a martyr. There would be an uproar amongst the people because, of course, they would feel. It's like you gotta think about like how even I'm gonna say gangsters today. How gangsters today roll. Well, usually people they kind of changing a little bit. Gangsters used to have some kind of decorum about their wickedness and what they did. I mean, it was certain things that you just wouldn't do. Like you wouldn't get at a nigga if he's with his girl, his little daughter, or something like that. You understand? But you wouldn't try to kill somebody like on a Sunday, like while they at church, right? They wouldn't get them at church because it's almost honorable for a gangster to be like, I know I'm trying to get at this nigga. But church would be too easy because I know he's going to be there. I know he's going to be walking up in that church at a certain time. I know he's going to be walking out the church at a certain time. That's too easy. And you understand, like, it is almost honorable for someone to be like, that's an off day. You understand? You safe on that day, but on Monday, nigga, I'm on you. You understand? But it was almost the same kind of idea that they didn't want to start an uproar. You understand? Because, of course, if somebody went and shot up a church to try to kill somebody and hit a grandma or hit a deacon or hit the pastor or a little girl or something like that, then, of course, everybody would be an uproar over you. So with the same idea as to why they didn't want to do that. You understand? But I'm going to continue reading, right?
I got you.
No sweat.
Come. Verse 6. Now when Yahushua was in Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper, verse 7, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head, and he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor.
So they like, man, why is you pouring out this good oil right there? You understand? You wasting it, pouring it on his head or whatever. You understand? Like why we could be giving this away or we could be selling it to make money, whatever the case may be, right? Let's keep going.
Verse 10. When Yahushua understood it, he said unto them, why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me ye have not always.
You understand what he's saying there? Keep going.
Verse 12. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body she did it for my burial.
Mm-hmm.
Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this, that this woman hath done, be told for a memorial of her.
So be told of a memorial of her. You understand? Meaning to remember her for what she did, right? Now, just for the context of what we're bringing out here, you got to remember at this time, Christ is rolling with his 12 disciples. He's rolling with his 12 men. He's going to hold the Passover with his 12 men in his home, right? Or in a home, because he knew that he was getting ready to die, right? And so these 12 men are men who had set their allegiance to Christ. They gave their loyalty to him, you understand? And they're rolling with him, learning from him, witnessing the miracles that this man is creating. They love him, you understand? Or at least they claim that they love him, right? And just like how you would have brothers and sisters in the truth who claim to have their allegiance to this school, you understand? Or claim to have their allegiance to the Most High, you understand? But I'm gonna show you a lesson in what's gonna happen in this story here, right? Keep going.
Come, verse 14. Then one of the 12, called Judas Iscariot, went unto the chief priests and said unto them, what will ye give me? And I will deliver him unto you. And they covenanted with him for 30 pieces of silver.
For 30 pieces of silver. You understand? So he went to the Sadducees and Pharisees and he asked them what? How much money will you give me if I give you Christ? You understand? Because of course, you understand at this time they were looking for him, but they could not find him. And so this bastard goes behind Christ's back and he says, well, how much you got? You understand? And they told him 30 pieces of shekel. What is that, like $2,000 today? Somewhere around that number. Yeah, I think that's around like $2,000 or something. Whatever the number it is, it wasn't worth it. It's not worth it. But that's what they did. You understand? Or that's what they offered him to Judas, right? Yeah, keep going.
Verse 16. And from that time, he sought opportunity to betray him.
He sought opportunity to betray him. Now, this is Judas. This is someone that Christ taught. You understand? Freed from the world, showed him miracles, showed him how to heal people. You understand? Showed him prophecies and how to keep this law perfectly. Right? Keep going.
Come. Verse 17. Now the first day of the feast of unleavened bread, the disciples came to Yahushua, saying unto him, where wilt thou that we prepare for thee to eat the Passover?
So they saying, where we gonna keep the Passover at? Keep going.
And he said, go into the city to such a man and say unto him, the master saith, my time is at hand. I will keep the Passover at thy house with my disciples.
So that's the house, right? So he said, we're going to have the Passover at this man's house, right? Keep going.
It's like it. And the disciples did as Yahushua had appointed them. And they made ready the Passover. Verse 20. Now when the even was come, he sat down with the 12. Verse 21. And as they did eat, he said, verily I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me.
So Christ knew, you understand? Christ knew that one of these men was going to betray him. You understand? He already knew who it was and what they were going to do. All right, keep going.
Verse 22. And they were exceeding sorrowful.
And they were sorrowful to hear that. You understand? Like, you got to imagine you in the school with your brothers, and you understand, you got Commander General Yohana, or you got the leader at the time, and he's saying that one of you gonna betray me, and you looking at each other like it ain't gonna be me, or I hope it ain't Tabawan, or I hope it ain't Mahayar, it ain't me. You understand? But it's sorrowful to hear that, because you know that when Christ said this, you knew that it was true. You, like, at this point, you knew that it was going to happen because he said it was going to happen. Right? Keep going.
It's like you. And it's like, and began every one of them to say unto him, Lord, is it I?
They ask, is it going to be me? Is it going to be me? Like, why are they asking him this? They asking Christ, is it me? Why? Because they probably just going to be like, man, well, just kill me now. let's just get it over with now. So I don't gotta, be the one to betray you. Right. And then all this stuff that we gotta do, just get it over with. Right. You understand? And to save everybody the trouble and offer my head so y'all can be safe. You understand? So they ask me, is it me? Am I gonna be the one that's gonna do it? Keep going.
Verse 23. And he answered and said, he that dippeth his hand with me in the dish, the same shall betray me. Verse 24. The Son of Man goeth as it is written of him. But woe unto that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed.
He says what?
But woe unto that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed.
But woe unto that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed, man. You understand? Before you think to ever be disloyal to the hands of the men who have freed you from the wickedness that you've ever done, you should think about this. That's right. You should think about how you talk to the man who freed you from whoredom, who freed you from prostitution, who freed you from death by the hands of our oppressors, who freed you from drug dealing and drug addiction and drug abuse and homelessness and helplessness. You should think about the allegiance that you freely gave. You understand? You should think about it before you decide to post another fake Israelite camp that learned from us. That's right. Before you decide to post a Christian quote from some Christian pedophile rapist, before you decide to ever speak ill against the school, you should think, and you should think very hard about the allegiance that you freely gave. You understand? And this is what Christ is telling him. He's telling him, woe unto the man who was going to betray me. Keep going.
But woe unto that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It had been good for that man if he had not been born.
It had been good for that man if he had not been born. This is not the type of brother or sister that you want to be in here. This is not the type of person that you want to be. You understand? Like you first of all, your loyalty and your allegiance is everything. Yes. It means everything. You are nothing if you have no allegiance to anything. You understand? You're a waste of a person who has no allegiance to nothing on this earth except their damn self. Your allegiance is to you getting high, or your allegiance is to you popping whores, or your allegiance is to being in strip clubs, drinking your life away and blowing money for all God knows what reason why. You understand? Your allegiance is to your damn self and your lust and your temptations, and you have no allegiance to anything else while the rest of your brothers and sisters die around you. You understand? Your allegiance and your loyalty is everything. And so when you make your allegiance to this school, you should think about that before you make it, right? Before you make the allegiance with your husband, you should think about it before you make it, right? Because how would you look to have given your allegiance to a man to one day want to take it away, to one day want to betray him, to one day want to go and sleep with another man? And you understand? You should think about that, right? Keep going. For those on the live, you understand these lives, they have a time limit, and the time limit is going to end in about 40 seconds. I'm gonna reset the live and then go back live as soon as it ends. Go ahead.
Then Judas, which betrayed him, answered and said, Master, is it I? He said unto him, Thou hast said. Verse 26. And as they were eating, Yahushua took bread and blessed it and brake it and gave it to the disciples and said, Take, eat. This is my body. Verse 27. And he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, Drink ye all of it. Verse 28. But this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins. But I say unto you, I will not drink henceforth of this fruit of the vine until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom. And when they had sung in hymn, they went out into the Mount of Olives. Then saith Yahushua unto them, All ye shall be offended because of me this night. For it is written, I will smite the shepherd, and the sheep of the flock shall be scattered abroad. But after I am risen again, I will go before you into Galilee. Peter answered and said unto him, though all men shall be offended because of thee, yet will I never be offended. Yahushua said unto him, verily I say unto thee, that this night before the cock crow, thou shalt deny me thrice.
So Christ is saying what to Peter? You understand? What is Christ saying here?
If I may, so Peter's trying to flex like, nah, not me. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I ain't gonna be offended of you, Christ. I'm down with you, no matter what.
Peter trying to show his muscle.
Right.
Peter, like Christ is telling him that everyone's going to be offended by me.
John.
You understand? Everybody. And Peter's like, nah, not me. I don't care if they saying they hanging everybody by your name. I'm gonna walk out there first and be like, I was with that nigga Christ. Y'all hanging niggas who was with Christ and believed in him. I was with that nigga Christ. Yeah, me, Lord. I'm with you, my Lord. You understand? That's what Peter is telling Christ right now. He flexing his muscle. You understand? Trying to show his allegiance to Christ, right? But your allegiance, you understand, is not from what you say. Right. You understand? Like your allegiance to your husband is not because you say I love you. Right. It's not because you say you my man. It's not because you say you the only one. You understand? Which I guess that's why I'm like, I'm not into like the words and all the romantic stuff. You understand? Because you have women out here who will tell you, man, I love you to death. And in that same night go and pop whore with 5 men. You understand? Your allegiance has nothing to do with what you say. And it has everything to do with what you do. Everything to do with how you conduct yourself, how you live your life, how you act, how you deal with certain situations, how you resolve certain situations. Everything you do from the point on that you've made your allegiance is exactly how you will live your life, because that is what an allegiance does. You understand? So I see your question online. I'm gonna get to your question online after I finish this. Everything to what? You said what? Oh, GP? Okay, no sweat. Yeah, no sweat.
Where am I at? Come. Verse 34. Yahushua said unto him, verily I say unto thee, that this night before the cock crow, thou shalt deny me thrice. Peter said unto him, though I should die with thee, yet will I not deny thee.
He's saying what? Though I should die with you, I will not deny you. You understand? Keep going.
Likewise, also said all the disciples.
So all the disciples was like, nah, nigga, we rolling with you, nigga. We ain't gonna deny you. Let them come. Let them come with the swords and the gallows and the torture chambers and all of that. We're gonna be up in there tortured to death. All right, no sweat. Keep going.
Come. Verse 36. Then come the Yahushua with them unto a place called Gethsemane, and saith unto the disciples, sit ye here while I go and pray yonder. And he took with him Peter and the 2 sons of Zebedee, and began to be sorrowful and very heavy.
He began to be what?
Sorrowful and very heavy.
Now, why was Christ sorrowful and very heavy?
Like, so if I may, because he was almost not scared, but he was a little shook up about what's about to happen.
He was sad. He was probably scared. I mean, not scared, of course, that'll be a sin, but he was, like you said, he was a little troubled.
Right.
He was troubled what's about to happen. I mean, you gotta imagine you get the order that, these men are going to torment you, torture you, stab you up, lynch you, hang you, all kinds of crazy stuff to you, and you got to do it. You got to do it, even though you did nothing wrong. You ain't did nothing wrong in your whole life, and you got to go and suffer that. You understand? Christ was troubled by this, man. You understand? But what did Christ have that a lot of sisters and a lot of men do not? Yeah. Oh, now I'm asking a question. What did Christ have that a lot of sisters and a lot of brothers do not have? Remember, Christ is about to have to, he's getting in order to die. You understand? Like, let me put it in perspective for you. Oh, go ahead. You got an answer? He has an allegiance to the Lord. He understand he has an oath that he's taken, you understand, to serve the Most High. Like, and you like, how can I put this? As a brother or sister, right, who claims to love the Most High, who claims to love Christ, you understand, like a lot of us do, you have to learn from this and understand that your allegiance to your man or your allegiance to your woman or your allegiance to the Most High or to the school is no different than your allegiance to the Lord, to Christ, to the Lord. Right. There is no different. You understand? Christ got the order. Christ got the order to go and die for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. You have an order, you understand, to sweep the floor and you get upset. You have an order to hold a food drive and that's just too much for you. Or you get an order to have to drive a couple hours to go to camp. And that's God forbid, you understand, you have to drive 2 hours to go to camp. Christ got an order to sacrifice his life, and he had done no wrong in this earth. And he did it. You understand? He did it for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, which is why the allegiance that we should have should be even stronger. You understand? Because of what he had to do. Keep going.
Verse 39, 38. Mm-hmm. Then saith he unto them, mm-hmm, my soul is exceeding sorrowful.
So he was sorrowful. This was like Christianity, right? Christianity does a disservice to Christ. You understand? They really hate Christ. Why do they hate him? Because they depict Christ as some almighty ghost, right, that feels no pain and that suffereth not and was not a man who walked the earth, who looked at women and said, damn, she's probably fine. She's right, bad as hell. You understand? They depict Christ to be something that's different, right, than what we are. When Christ was a man like me and you. You understand? You look at a brother in this room and you imagine with all the feelings that brother may have, all the emotions, all the lives that he has lost in his life, everything that he's grown up and had to go through the same way you've gone through it. And then imagine that brother getting an order to go and to die and to suffer what Christ had to suffer for you. Imagine the feeling that you would have about that type of brother. You understand? Imagine the loyalty you would have towards that brother who would go and take that for you when you know it should be you. When you know, well, I'm the one who was out here selling drugs. I'm the one who was out here eating shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster. I'm the one who was out here being a whore. But yet this brother right here has to go and die for me. And then to see him be sorrowful for it, to see him be shooken up by the order that he knows he has to get. Right. You understand? The Christian church does an injustice because the way that they depict it, it makes us feel like, well, we don't have to do anything because it didn't hurt him. It's Christ. Right. Nobody can be like Christ. But yet that brother was just like us. That's right. He was just like us. You understand? And he had to go through this, and it was horrible. That's right. It was a torment for him to have to go through this. It was torture. You understand? Just like any other brother being tortured from anybody. It's terrible for him to have to lose his life. He felt every whip. He felt every lash, every thorn stuck inside of him. He felt it the same way you would. And he did it. Right? Keep going.
Oh, Khan. Mm-hmm. Then he saith unto them, it's like, then saith he unto them, mm-hmm, my soul is exceeding sorrowful, mm-hmm, even unto death. Mm-hmm. Tarry ye here and watch with me. Mm-hmm. Verse 39, and he went a little further and fell on his face and prayed, mm-hmm, saying, oh, my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me.
He said what?
Oh my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me.
Think about that the next time you go to eat some pork.
That's right.
Think about that the next time you go to get a tattoo.
That's right.
Or the next time you sell drugs to your brother. Or the next time you want to smoke a blunt. Or the next time you want to celebrate Christmas or Halloween or the goddamn 4th of July.
That's right.
Think about that, you so-called Christian.
Right.
You're so-called supposed to be Christ-like,
right.
Supposed to love God and supposed to love Christ. And love is all inside your heart.
Right.
And every goddamn quote inside of your goddamn filthy, disgusting house. Think
right.
about this. Think about a man who you think is so powerful. You understand? This is the saddest thing to see. A strong man who was being brought to tears. It's the most sorrowful thing to witness and to gaze upon. And this is Christ, the strongest man to ever walk the face of the earth. And he is on his knees begging the Lord to let this cup pass from him. Begging the Lord to just say, you know what? I wanted just to test your loyalty, but you don't have to die. Begging the Lord to have the same mercy that Abraham was given when he was given an order to kill his son. Begging for the same mercy. But yet, God forbid, somebody tells us that we can't eat pork no more. God forbid somebody tells us to put some clothes on our naked behind. God forbid someone tells you that selling drugs is not the only way that you can survive in this earth. God forbid you have to stop killing people. God forbid you have to stop being a homosexual or a child molester. God forbid those little things. No sweat. Keep going.
Come on. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt.
He said, nevertheless, it's not my will. It's not what I want. I could want to eat pork all day. I could want to sleep with white women all day. I could want to do anything I want to do all day, but it is not my will. It is the will of my allegiance to the Most High.
That's right.
You understand? My allegiance to him is stronger than my allegiance to myself. So I won't touch a blunt. So I won't touch a hookah stick pen or whatever the hell else you call it. So I won't sleep with a heathen woman. So I won't eat shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster. I won't celebrate Halloween or Thanksgiving. I won't do it. Not because of my will, but because of my allegiance to the Most High. Because of my allegiance to Christ and my allegiance to Commander General Han and the Isupk, I won't break my oath to him. You understand? Like Christians break their oath day in and day out.
That's right.
Every day they claim to be Christ-like. Every day they claim to love the Most High, but they constantly break their oath towards the man who was tortured for them to live. For a man who died for them to have the chance to be able to keep their oath to the Lord. What you got?
Salaki, if I may, so what you bringing out is real heavy. And it's only taught in the Isupk. So just got to say that for sure. It's the only place being taught. And for brothers and sisters to understand what this brother's going through, and like you said, man, the little things that's asked of us. A brother just asked to sweep the floor, or a brother just asked to, to drive the camp or whatever it may be. And that's how you show your allegiance to the Lord. We understand that. And it's no different for a sister. Like, God forbid you do what your husband tells you to do. Like he ain't telling you to commit a sin, obviously, because then, that's something you cannot obey. But God forbid you show some allegiance to somebody, or by doing, what the allegiance, like you said, the allegiance you gave in the first place.
Right.
Nobody made you lay down with that brother. Nobody made you, want to be with him. You made that decision yourself. And when you did it and gave your allegiance to that man, or a brother comes into the school, you gave your allegiance to the school when you decided to get that oil put on your head. And we all know, every brother in here is an officer knows when that first time that oil come, what they say, hey, you sure you want to do this? You understand what happens? You get the oil in your head, now the work starts and so on and so forth. And so you made the choice. And if Christ could go through what he's going through right now, and we see he didn't want to do it, which is the key. It wasn't like he was like Christians say, he happily go like, yeah, let's go get tortured today. Save the whole world. What I mean? Not just my people. I'm gonna save the same people that's about to kill me, the Romans, right? But this brother was like crying, like, yo, I don't want to do this.
Right.
But it's not what I want.
Right.
So the rest of us should be able to do the same thing. So
Exactly. We should be able to do it 10 times
Right.
with the same loyalty that he had to the Lord.
God.
You understand? You should be able to do it, right? If you love the Most High. Now, if you hate Christ, then no sweat. Go do what you want to do.
Right.
Go eat all the pork you want. If you can hear about this and say, I don't give a damn about him getting having to suffer and being tormented and tortured. If you can say that, then no sweat. Go have fun. Go celebrate the 4th of July and pop fireworks until your hand blows off and just live your life. You understand? But this is for the people who claim to love the Most High, right? Keep going.
Come.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 40. And he cometh unto the disciples and findeth them asleep.
Now, these brothers were supposed to be up on guard, right? These brothers were supposed to be up on guard, watching. Keep going.
And saith unto Peter, what? Could ye not watch with me 1 hour?
He said, could you not stay up for an hour?
Right.
Good night. What the hell what kind of operation are we running over
Right.
here? Like, you goddamn, I left you for an hour and then you come back and these niggas are asleep in the chairs, probably just knocked out. You understand? His disciples were men too. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 41.
Mm-hmm.
Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation.
Mm-hmm.
The spirit indeed is willing,
Mm-hmm.
but the flesh is weak.
Christ is trying to prepare them to not be with him. You understand? It says, watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. The spirit is indeed and willing, meaning you're here with me, right? Your spirit is here with me. You want to do this. You want to walk in my shoes and walk before me. You want to serve the Most High. You want to be a righteous sister and a righteous brother in the school. But what they say, I can hear the Perkies calling. You understand? The life of being a drug dealer, it's too lucid. It's such a prominent desire to just be the biggest drug dealer on the face of the goddamn planet that your spirit will have to wrestle against your own flesh. Your spirit will say, selling drugs to my people is bad. Christ died for us to not be drug dealers. But the Mercedes Benz that I could buy with this money, the new house for my mom that I can buy with this money, the women that I'm gonna get from being the man in the city. You understand? Surely the Lord wants me to have this. Right. You understand? And of course, a weak man will do what? He'll listen to himself, which means he listens to his allegiance to who? Himself, not the Lord. Keep going. Mm-hmm.
Verse 42.
Mm-hmm.
He went away again the second time and prayed, saying, "O my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me, except I drink it, thy will be done."
He pleading with the Lord. He went back again, a second time pleading with the Lord, begging, if Lord, Father, if you ain't gonna take this away from me, then I'll do it. I'll go get sacrificed and killed by these stinking Romans. If that's what I have to do for my people. You understand? Keep going.
Come. Verse 43. And he came and found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy.
They were knocked out. Keep going.
Verse 44. And he left them and went away again and prayed the third time.
Third time saying the same thing. Keep going.
Saying the same words. Verse 45. Then cometh he to his disciples and saith unto them, sleep on now. Sleep
on now, man. Like this story right here is hard for me to read. It's hard for me to read because I have to imagine seeing this. Like when we're reading this story, picture it happening. Picturing a brother that you know and love that's a strong man, and he comes back home to the men who's supposed to be on Shamar, and they're knocked out sleeping. And this brother who was so strong, who could have woke everybody out with 1 second of a medium, right? Everybody's up.
That's right.
He could have did it and got on their ass about being asleep. But this strong brother says, what?
Come. Then cometh he to his disciples and saith unto them, sleep on now and take your rest.
He says, sleep on now and take your rest. He looking at these sons that he's raised. He looking at these men that he's taught, at these lives that he's saved. And he tells them to sleep on now, knowing he's about to go die. knowing he's about to go be crucified and tortured and tormented of all hell, he looks at his sons and his brothers and he says, just sleep. Just get your rest, man, because you need it. Me, however, I don't need rest to go die, but you need rest so that you can live, so that you can continue this work.
That's
while
right.
I'm gone. He said, you need your rest, man. This is what Christ did for us. Okay, keep going.
Come. Behold, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Verse 46, rise, let us be going. Behold, he is at hand that doth betray me. Verse 47.
And he knew they were coming. Keep going.
And while he yet spake, lo, Judas, one of the 12,
one of his disciples, one of the sons that he raised. Keep going.
Came, and with him a great multitude with swords and staves.
With swords and staves. You understand? Spears, right? He came with Romans, an army of men coming to take Christ. Keep going.
From the chief priests and elders of the people. Verse 48. Now he that betrayed him gave them a sign, saying, whomsoever I shall kiss, that same is he. Hold him fast.
Now, this is also a nigga trick in the hood. This is a nigga trick in the hood. You ever dealt with somebody who's an informant? This is what they do. The police are watching. They want to know who Ghost is, because Ghost doesn't have a face. He just has a fake name. And so they say, go and dap up whoever Ghost is and get out of there. He walks up there. He daps up one man. He said, what up, my nigga? Walks out of there. Now they know who Christ is. Now they see him. So now they can get him. Keep going.
Verse 49.
And a kiss is not a kiss like what we would call it today. Of course, a kiss is what we do in the school where you understand it's a salute. Keep going.
Verse 49. And forthwith he came to Yahushua and said, hail, master, and kissed him.
He did like what? He just like a little rat.
Right.
Just like a little rat. A weasel, right? Hell, master, what's going on? Salute. You that nigga, you know that, right? Man, I love you. I love you. And saluted. And you know what Christ did? He saluted him back like the real nigga he was, knowing what he was doing.
Right.
And just knew. And Christ and Judas went on his way, right? And Christ looking at him like, you treacherous bitch. You know right. Keep going, man.
In verse 50, and Yahushua said unto him, friend, wherefore art thou come?
He asking him a question. He said, where you coming from? He already know. Keep going.
Then came they and laid hands on Yahushua and took him.
So they came and got him. Keep going.
Verse 51, and behold, one of them which were with Yahushua stretched out his hand and drew his sword and struck a servant of the high priests and smote off his ear.
Who was this? If I'm not mistaken, this was Peter.
Can't believe.
If I'm not mistaken, this was Peter that took his sword and chopped the ear off one of the servants of the high priest of the Sadducees and Pharisees that was coming to get Christ. You understand? Chopped his ear off for putting a hand on Christ. Keep going.
Come. Verse 52. Then Yahushua said unto him, Yahushua unto him, put up again thy sword into his place. For all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. Verse 53. Thinkest thou that I cannot now pray to my Father, and he shall presently give me more than 12 legions of angels?
So Christ said, what? He said, put away your sword. You understand? For all these that kill with the sword, gonna be killed by the sword. You understand? Because Christ knew what? Christ knew that these prophecies had to happen. Christ knew that his men had to be asleep. Christ knew that Judas had to betray him because these were the prophecies that had to happen. So he made another one. He knows the prophecy in the Old Testament that says what? He that shall kill by the sword shall be killed by the sword. You understand? And so he's telling him this. And he's saying what? You think because you got to think about it. This is Christ. Peter chops off the sword. He's like, hey, stand down. He's like, do you think that I can't have my Father send 12 million angels to punish all of these niggas right now?
That's
you think I couldn't kill them right now?
Right.
You think these weak TD Jakes and Creflo Dollar and rapists and child molesters and fornicators and adulterers got something on me? He's telling him, like, man, I will, in their face, to their face, he's telling them, I will kill all of them right now if I wanted to.
Right.
However, let's go. Keep going.
Don't come.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 54.
Mm-hmm.
But how then shall the scriptures be fulfilled?
But how will the prophecies be fulfilled? How will it happen? Keep going.
That thus it must be.
Uh-huh.
Verse 55.
Mm-hmm.
In that same hour said Yahushua to the multitudes,
Mm-hmm.
Are ye come out as against a thief with swords and staves for to take me?
Mm-hmm. So he's saying you coming out as if like how you come to get a thief, because Christ, of course, is no thief. Christ, of course, is no murderer. But you coming like you coming to get a thief to take me? You coming to get me? Keep going.
I sat daily with you teaching in the temple,
Mm-hmm.
and ye laid no hold on me.
Meaning everything that I've done it in front of your face. I've tried to teach you. I tried to show you what was right according to the Most High, and you didn't get me then. When Christ went and got the cords together and whipped them out of the temple, that would have been a perfect time to try to grab them then. Of course, they didn't touch him then. You understand? So Christ is cutting them by saying all this stuff that I've been doing, everything that I've been teaching it in front of your face. So what's the problem now? Keep going. No sweat.
Don't come.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 56.
Mm-hmm.
But all this was done that the scriptures of the prophets might be fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
Then all the disciples forsook him
Mm-hmm.
and fled.
So all of them left. You understand? Keep going. Yeah, they all left. They fled away from the scene, right? Keep going.
And they that had laid hold on Yahushua led him away to Caiaphas the high priest,
Mm-hmm.
where the scribes and the elders were assembled.
Mm-hmm.
But Peter followed him afar off unto the high priest's palace,
Mm-hmm.
and went in and sat with the servants
Mm-hmm.
to see the end.
So Peter followed, right? Because Peter's spirit was with Christ, right? Keep going.
Don't come. Now, the chief priests and elders and all the council sought false witness against Yahushua to put him to death.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 60, but found none. Yea, though many false witnesses came, yet found they none.
Mm-hmm.
At the last came two false witnesses.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 61, and said, this fellow said, I am able to destroy the temple of God and to build it in 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 62, and the high priest arose and said unto him, answerest thou nothing?
Go to verse 66, right? So Christ did say that he could tear down the temple and rebuild it in 3 days. Of course, he was not going against the Lord by saying that. He was absolutely correct, right?
Okay, verse 66.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 66, what think ye? They answered and said,
Mm-hmm.
he is guilty of death.
They wanted him to be dead anyway, right? Keep going.
Then did they spit in his face
Mm-hmm.
and buffeted him,
Mm-hmm.
and others smote him with the palms of their hands.
And the others smote him with the palms of their hands. I mean, they started just beating on him. Keep going.
Verse 68, saying, prophesy unto us, it's like prophesy unto us, thou Christ. Who is he that smote thee?
You understand? So what are they doing?
They mocking him.
They mocking him. They saying, well, you the son of man, ain't you?
Mm-hmm.
Ain't you the son of God? Well, prophesy unto us who hit you in the back of the head. Which one was it? Was it him or was it me? Or was it the one over there with the slingshot?
All right.
You understand? They mocking him. This is what they did to our brother. Keep going.
Slack you. Verse 69.
Mm-hmm.
Now Peter sat without in the palace,
Mm-hmm.
and a damsel came unto him, saying,
Mm-hmm.
thou also was with Yahushua of Galilee.
Mm-hmm.
But he denied before them all,
Mm-hmm.
saying, I know not what thou sayest.
So a woman came up to Peter and said, hey, look, you was with Christ. You was with him, won't you? I seen you in Galilee. I seen you with that nigga. I seen you. And Peter did what? He said, I don't know what you talking about. I don't know what you talking about. Right? Keep going.
Come.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 71.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was gone out into the porch,
Mm-hmm.
another maid saw him and said unto them that were there, this fellow was also with Yahushua of
They
Nazareth.
were like, get this nigga. Won't you with him in Nazareth? Won't you with him? Keep going.
Verse 72. And again, he denied with an oath.
With an oath. He said, I swear to you, I was not with him. Keep going. On my mama, right? Keep going.
I do not know the man.
They said, I do not know this man. I don't know Christ. I don't know him. Of course, what was Peter trying to do?
Salakia, save his life.
He was trying to save his life, right? It's the same thing that you do. It's the same thing that you do every time you eat pork. It's the same thing you do every time you sell drugs. Every time you pop a whore that you know that is not going to be your wife. It's the same thing that you do every time you choose to sin against the Lord. You think that you're doing this because you're saving your life and your life matters and your fun matters and your happiness is what really matters. And you being able to breathe and live and eat the finer things in life and drive the fancy car and have the baddest wife and sleep with white women and all the fun things that you want to do and travel and see the world and drive a G-Wagon and live in a nice house. You believe that all the things that you want matter. So you'd save your life. You'd save your life and you deny the name of Christ. You deny the name of Yahweh Shah Mashiach. You deny the name of Yahweh, our Father in heaven who created heaven and earth. You deny it. You'd go to your slave and you say, they'll ask you, are you with that coat? And they'll ask you just like that. They won't say, are you in the Isupk? They'll say, are you with that coat group? And you'll say, what? No, I don't. What? What you talking about, coat group? I don't know nothing about no coat group. No, I'm a sales rep. I'm a Christian. I believe in Christ. You won't wear your Magun Dawada proud. You won't tell them Edomites at your school that they the devil that the Bible speaks of. You won't tell no stinking Hamite to his face that I don't rock with you because your people sold my people into slavery. And I don't love heathens because the Lord hates them. You won't tell the white man that he the devil to his face. You'll have a problem with him kissing our boots. You'll have a problem with us saying what we say because you'll deny Christ. Like Peter did. You're just like him. When you do those things, you'll submit your oath. You understand? And destroy you, and you'll destroy your allegiance to the Most High to save your own life. Keep going.
Come. Salakia. Here we go. Verse 73, and after a while came unto him they that stood by and said to Peter, surely thou also art one of them, for thy speech bewrayeth thee. Verse 74, then began he to curse and to swear, saying,
he said, I don't know what the hell you talking about, man. You better stop lying on me, damn it.
Right.
Understand? That's what he started saying. He said some worse words than that, I'm sure, but keep going.
I know not the man. And immediately the cock crew.
Now remember what Christ told Peter. He told him that after the cock crows, a man shall deny me 3 times, right? Or before the cock crows, that a man shall deny me 3 times, right? So he denied him 3 times and the cock crew. Keep going.
Verse 75. And Peter remembered the word of Yahushua, which said unto him, before the cock crow, thou shalt deny me thrice. And he went out and wept bitterly.
And he went out and wept bitterly, man. He went out and cried because he knew what he had done. He knew that he just willingly denied his friend, his brother, a man who he had an allegiance to, an alliance with. You understand? Keep going. Next chapter.
The book of Matthew, chapter 27 and verse 1. When the morning was come, all the chief priests and elders of the people took counsel against Yahushua to put him to death. And when they had bound him, they led him away and delivered him to Pontius Pilate, the governor.
Pontius Pilate. Now you want some history for you? Pontius Pilate came from who? Because a lot of people do not understand how to show how this Bible is history. This is biblical records. This stuff happened. It is 100% true. How do we know who Pontius Pilate is?
Who was he from?
Where did he come from? Where do we know the name Pontius Pilate from?
Salakia. I'm trying to say the exact question. Like, I believe he was Roman. But wasn't he? He's also in the scripture somewhere else? Was he also mentioned when Christ was born?
Maybe.
Okay.
But so who is Pontius Pilate?
I believe he was the governor over Jerusalem. He was basically a Roman, because Rome had basically taken over. So Jerusalem was under Roman occupation, and they would send governors out to basically to govern these different places that had been annexed by the empire.
Right.
And so he was the governor over Jerusalem.
Right. And so when you look at stories like what the Babylon and Timbuktu, what's the Edomite's name? His name is slipping my mind right now. Yeah, I don't need it, but no. The actual people in the book that was conquering at that time. Let me see if I can find it. What time we got? 8:40. For time's sake, I'm gonna drop that, right? But just know that the history of these people were also, like, if you go back and look up the history of these people and look at the times of what they were doing around these times, it you understand, like it correlates with each other. Like Pontius Pilate, he was like the 5th or 6th governor of Rome, right? Of the Roman provinces of Judea, right? So right. So that's who Pontius Pilate was. You understand? But no sweat, for time's sake, let's just keep going. Because there's one more I need to get to.
Come. Verse 3. Then Judas, which had betrayed him, when he saw that he was condemned, repented himself and brought again the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and elders, saying, I have sinned in what I have betrayed the innocent blood. So in that I have betrayed the innocent blood. And they said, what is that to us? See thou to that. Verse 5. And he cast down the pieces of silver in the temple and departed and went and hanged himself.
Now remember what Christ said about this brother who betrayed him, who got those 30 pieces of shekel for betraying him. He said, woe unto thee, meaning destruction unto thee. And so he repented. You understand? He was sorrowful for what he did to Christ, but of course it was too late. His allegiance was broken. You understand? He's already shamed the school that Christ had built. He's already shamed the teachings that Christ had taught. He shamed all of the disciples and what Christ was trying to do. And so he had to die. You understand? And so he went and hung himself after giving the money back, which means what? What do you take away from that? What is the lesson in that?
The lesson in what, sir?
And him giving the money back and dying. You may need a precept. Precept. I'm going to take a shot. Matthew 10:39. Pontius Pilate. I'm trying to figure this out real quick. I'm going to just drop it. I ain't got time. Go ahead.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 10 and verse 39. He that findeth his life shall lose it.
He that findeth his life shall lose it. You come into this truth and you change your life and start to live for the Most High. You understand? You decide to do what Judas did. You decide to go back on your oath, to break your allegiance to the school, to break your allegiance to the Most High, and you go back to betraying him by eating pork, by eating shrimp and lobster and sleeping with heathen men and women. You betray him by breaking that oath. He shall surely lose his life. Keep going.
Come. And he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it.
And he that loses his life for my sake shall find it. Meaning you kill that old man and woman. You kill that person who you thought you were. You renown your mind into something that's different and something that's beautiful. Everything that you thought you knew, you understand that it's garbage. Everything you thought you knew, you understand that it's death. Everything we thought that we've ever known in this world has only gotten us to die. Everything. We thought Christianity was the way, and yet we die. We thought Islam was the way, and yet we sell drugs more than drug dealers in the Muslims are the biggest cocaine dealers in the fucking world. You understand? We think that RBG is the way, and they are full of homosexuals and just terrible, all kinds of just disgusting things inside of those communities. We think that all of these ways are the way, but yet we die for it. But when you come into the truth and to save and to serve the Most High, you understand? Then you shall surely live. You'll live because you won't get AIDS, because someone will tell you to not be a homosexual. You'll live because you won't get raped or molested, because somebody will tell you to put clothes on your behind. Somebody will also tell you where to be and where to not be, what time to be there and how to be there, and look like when you get there and what to say. Somebody will control you so much that there's no fault in your life ever. You understand? You'll be in so much order that the Lord will protect you from all of those wicked things, because you'll be living within the shadow of the Most High. You'll be living in the shade of the Most High, because he set up men in this earth through the works of these records and these prophecies and what Christ did and died for, to protect us, to tell us what to do and what not to do, how to live, how to not live, who to sleep with, how not to sleep with, how to deal with situations and how not to deal with situations. And that is the beauty of this school. That is the beauty of the allegiance of this school, because your allegiance to this school means absolutely nothing to the school. You do nothing for the school. Your allegiance to us doesn't help. If you decide to leave the school tomorrow, what do you think will happen? The school will grow tremendously.
That's right.
It'll be better than the day that you came. You understand? But your allegiance to this school means that you're deciding to live. You're deciding to not die by the hands of our oppressor. You're deciding to not die from AIDS and child molestation and homosexuality and drug addiction and drug dealing and black on black crime and abortion clinics and all kinds of other wicked ways that we die in America. You're deciding to live. And that is what your allegiance comes with. Keep going.
Come on. Verse 40. He that receiveth you receiveth me, and he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me.
He that receiveth you receiveth me. You receive these brothers in this school, then you receive Christ.
That's right.
You deny these brothers that the Lord set up over these cities, then you deny him. And if you receive Christ, then you also receive the Most High, man. You understand? And that's just how it is. That's just what it is, and that's just how it's always going to be. You understand? But drop that. Go back to verse 27. GP. Let's go. You got it? Matthew 16 and 26.
Okay. The book of Matthew, chapter 16 and verse 26. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul?
You understand? You understand? What would a man profit if lose his own soul? You understand? This goes back into a man who just wants to save his life. You understand? When Peter was trying to deny, when he was denying Christ, he was doing it to save his life. You understand? And that's what a lot of brothers will do. They'll turn into wickedness to save their life in this world. But what is the point of saving your life when you're going to lose your soul? You understand? What's the point of saving your life when your children are going to die from AIDS and homosexuality and all kinds? Your children will die. You understand? You look at these famous celebrities and all of these wicked pastors and all of that. Just look at the condition of their children. Look at what they're doing. Look at Dwayne Wade's son. You understand? What good is it for Dwayne Wade to be Dwayne Wade when he has to look at that every night? He has to look at it and he has to accept it because he does not know how to fight it. He does not know how to fight against his son saying that he wants to be a girl at the age of 13. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to do because he denied Christ. He denied the Most High. He claims to be a Christian. He knows that the Bible says that it's a sin to be a homosexual, but he's denying him. And so he'll lose everything. He'll lose his son that he loves. His son will grow old, sleep with men and get HIV or AIDS and die. He'll die because his father denied Christ. And so because of that, his father's a weak man. His father doesn't know how to raise children. He doesn't know how to rule with an iron staff. He doesn't know what to do. He has to follow after other homosexuals. And he gets advice from other faggots, Salakia, who says, oh, it's okay with the bent wrist. Let him do that. They said Gabrielle Union runs the house, makes all the decisions. We get that. Right. We ain't have to tell us that. You understand? But you want to save your life, and in saving your life, you have to destroy others. You have to kill your people. You have to push propaganda against your own people and do all kinds of wickedness to your people. Then what good is it, man? What good is it when the Lord is going to kill you anyway? You understand? What good is it to be Eddie Long? What good was it? To have the nice Rolls Royce and the Bentley trucks and the big Coliseum churches when the Lord's going to kill you anyway for what you're doing. You might as well just live poor, live righteous, and live. Or sell drugs, murder people, and be a child molester and teach the Bible and drive a Lamborghini for a while and then die. The choice is up to you. However, I don't give a damn which choice you decide. You can do whatever the hell you want to do. But as for me and my brothers, we gonna choose to live for the Lord. That's right. That's for our allegiance is gonna be, man. If I could I'm gonna drop that one for the time's sake. I want to read one more story in the book of 2 Maccabees. If I could just get that woman right with her 7 sons. You got you? You just passed to me. Yeah, I think it's chapter 7. If I'm not mistaken, it's 2 Maccabees 7. All right, read what you got.
So from verse 1?
If I'm not mistaken, we might have to drop that.
No, that's correct. The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 7 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
It came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, who was ruling at this time? The Greeks, right? The Greeks are ruling at this time. The Greeks, this is the time of Alexander the Great, if I'm not mistaken, or his lineage of people, right, who had sought to take over the earth. Alexander the Great, of course, he killed King Darius, you understand, and went and killed, not killed, but he took over Egypt, and he just sought to take over the lands, right? Alexander went on a rampage to just go and conquer. And in his conquering, they took over Jerusalem, right? And so during this time, they were making Israelites to follow after the customs of the Greeks, right? Which is where you get brothers like Mattathias, who fought against the Greeks because he did not want to follow the customs against what his father's customs were, which was to serve the Most High, right? So keep reading. So the Greeks took a woman and her 7 sons, right? Keep going.
And compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh.
And they compelled them to taste swine's flesh, to eat pork, right? Keep going. Something as simple as eating pork. Keep going.
And were tormented with scourges and whips. Verse 2, but one of them that spake first said thus, what wouldest thou ask or learn of us?
He said, well, what wouldest thou ask or learn of us? This was the strength of one of these brothers, man. You understand? He said, what do you have to learn from us? Or what do you want to ask of us? Right. You understand? Keep going.
Oh, God. We are ready to die rather than to transgress the laws of our father.
He's getting whipped. And he said, what is the point of this? I mean, why don't you just kill us already? Because we're not eating this. We're not going to eat this pork. We're not going to smoke the blunt that you just rolled up. We're not going to willingly get the tattoo. We're not going to sleep with the heathen women. We're not going to celebrate your Christmas with your Christmas tree and the gifts underneath the tree. We're not going to pop fireworks for the 4th of July. We're not going to eat shrimp, crab, and lobster. We're not going to do it. So what is the point of all this, right? We are ready to die. Keep going.
Okay, verse 3. Then the king, being in a rage, commanded pans and cauldrons to be made hot.
Now, I want you to really put yourself in this predicament. I want you to really understand it. This is a hard story to take in, but I want you to try your best to put yourself in this predicament, right? So you and your family members, you and your brothers are being whipped And all the king is asking you to do is eat pork. So when you wonder why, but why is eating pork such a big thing? You know, that's small. It's not like it's murder. It's not like it's being a homosexual. It's just a little bit of bacon. Just a little bit of whatever chip. I don't know what the hell they eat. Ham hocks. It's just is that the real thing?
I think so.
Whatever. It's just a little bit of pig feet. Why is it so? Why can't we smoke a hookah pen? Isn't it just water vapor? Why can't we smoke hookah? And why can't we just celebrate a little Christmas? Why we can't celebrate a little Juneteenth and celebrate a little 4th of July and just, you know, it's just some sparklers.
Right.
It's not even fireworks. It's just a little sparkler. Well, pork is a little thing, right? It may have been a little piece of tomatoes, a little piece of bacon. You said what?
A sausage McMuffin.
A sausage McMuffin. It's as small as a sauce. You go to McDonald's and you say, yeah, let me get that sausage McMuffin. You do that willingly. You do it. It's nothing to you. No sweat. Let's see what happens. Let's read what you got.
John Con.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 4. Which forthwith being heated,
Mm-hmm.
he commanded to cut out the tongue of him that spake first.
He said to cut the tongue out of the boy who spoke first. Keep going.
And to cut off the utmost parts of his body.
And what are the utmost parts of his body? His limbs, right? To cut those parts off of his body. Keep going.
The rest of his brethren and his mother looking on.
Now look at this. Now imagine you're looking at your brother, the brother that you know and love, and you're held captive. And someone is telling you to eat pork. And you know pork is against the law of God. And they know that pork is against the law of God, of your God. But they're trying to force you to do it. And they take your brother and they cut his tongue out. And then they saw and hack off his limbs. You understand? Right in front of you. What do you do? Be careful not to make the same mistake Peter made. Be careful not to be Peter in this time, right? Because Peter made a mistake by doing what? Having his spirit bearing witness to the allegiance of the Most High, but not his flesh.
Right.
His flesh did not bear allegiance to the Lord. So what would you do? What if the cop comes and pulls you over and says, eat this bacon or I'm going to take you to prison? What do you do? A lot of you would eat the bacon. A lot of you would go to McDonald's and say, let me get the sausage egg McMuffin. Let me get I don't know what else has bacon in it. I don't know what else is pork.
All McDonald's breakfast sandwiches have pork in it.
Okay, let me get whatever with sausage on it. Let me just get straight sausage patties,
Right.
and eat that. You understand? You'll do that. However, your brother is going through this. What you got?
Like even when we read the story in Second Maccabees, like this just goes to show you how I'm not saying it like that. It shows you how these Christians are, because if you look at the story about men, young boys like this lose their life behind not eating pork.
Mhm.
It just makes you look at the Christian church and really go, wow.
Right. You understand? Which is the point of this being brought up. You understand? Because a lot of Christians or a lot of people in the world will claim to have an allegiance to Christ, will claim to have an allegiance to the Most High. However, these men and women had an allegiance to the Most High.
That's right.
You understand? We're going to keep reading a little bit more. Keep going. Salak.
Con. Shalakia. Verse 5.
Mhm.
Now when he was thus maimed in all his members,
They cut everything off. Keep going.
he commanded him, being yet alive,
Mhm.
to be brought to the fire
Now he was still breathing after all of this. Keep going.
and to be fried in the pan.
And they fried him in a goddamn pan. Imagine your brother being burnt alive in a goddamn pan. Keep going.
And as the vapor of the pan was for a good space dispersed,
Mhm.
they exhorted one another with the mother to die manfully.
After the vapor of the pan was gone, they looked at each other and said, die manfully. They looked at each other and said, we're going to stand with the Lord.
That's right.
We're going to follow right after him.
Damn right.
And we're going to all go together. You understand? You can give it up for them for that. You understand? Because they were a lot stronger than a lot of us today who fought, who get so. This is why when you look at a brother who just can't stop smoking weed, when you look at someone who, man, you know, I agree with everything, man, but that pork is so good. It's I can't help myself to just think of how gay you really are.
Right.
Of how much of a bitch you really are. You understand? Like you may be the biggest drug dealer, but you can't stop eating pork. You are a faggot. You're gay. You don't deserve a wife. You don't deserve kids. You don't deserve men to move under you. You don't deserve to maneuver drug deals and do all the things you think is tough. You're a fucking bitch. You can't stop eating pork? What can you stop doing? What can you stop? Can you stop anything? Or is it everything that you do is I'm doing it. I can't stop. Gotta do it now. You done did cocaine. I can't stop now. Can't stop, won't stop. You understand? Keep going.
Come on. Verse 6, the Lord God looketh upon us, and in truth hath comfort in us, as Moses in his song, which witnessed to their faces, declared, saying, and he shall be comforted in his servants. Verse 7, so when the first was dead after this manner, they brought the second to make him a mocking stock. And when they had pulled off the skin of his head with the hair, they asked him, wilt thou eat before thou be punished throughout every member of thy body?
So they took your other brother, your youngest brother, and they pulled the skin, they scalped him in front of you. And after they was done, they asked him, will you eat before we punish every member of your body? Keep going.
Verse 8, but he answered in his own language.
But he answered in his own language. But of course, saying Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah Barakatah Yahweh Shah is such just cult. It's such a disgust. What are you saying?
Right.
Well, go ahead.
Man, you said we just read like he was the youngest.
No, I'm giving I'm giving an example.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying that you think of your youngest brother. Right? Think of your youngest brother, right? And this going through him. But they answered and said, go ahead.
But it doesn't use the application here, does it? I didn't think it did.
Yeah, no.
But I really wish it would.
Yeah. The thing is that one of these brothers was the oldest and one of them was the youngest. They all died. All of them. So you understand? I'm painting the picture for you. To think about that youngest brother that you do have. And then imagine that this is happening to him, right? Keep going. So they answered in his own language, man. They said, what?
Come. But he answered in his own language and said, no.
He said, la.
That's right.
Keep going.
Wherefore he also received the next torment in order as the former did.
So they chopped off his members and they put them in a pot, in a frying pan. Keep going.
And when he was at the last gasp, he said, thou like a fury take us out of this present life, but the King of the world shall raise us up, who have died for his laws unto everlasting life.
And you know what he's talking about. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 10, after him was the third made a mocking stock, and when he was required, he put out his tongue.
So when they said, when the third one was time, I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. But he gave his tongue willingly. He said, take it. You understand? Keep going.
Come. And that right soon, holding forth his hands manfully.
Hold on 1 second. Because we at the end of this, for the live is about to end, but I'm gonna end it now and I'm gonna get back live. Hold on. Read that again, Salagi.
Come. And that right soon, holding forth his hands manfully.
So he held his hands out manfully. Keep going.
Verse 11, and said courageously, these I had from heaven, and for his laws I despised them.
He said what? He said, these I have from heaven. Meaning what? The Lord of heaven and earth gave me these hands. These are not mine. These aren't the hands that my parents made for me. These are the hands that the Most High gave to me. And for his laws, then I despise them. I don't want them no way.
That's right.
You understand? If you telling me the only way to keep these hands that he gave me is to disobey his laws, then take them. You understand? Because these hands If these hands are what I keep by disobeying the Most High God, then I fucking hate these damn hands. You understand? You should feel that way about the Rolls Royce you driving every day. You should feel that way about the money that you get for selling drugs every day of your life. You should feel that way about the fulfillment of your stomach when you eat pork so that you won't starve to death. You should feel that way about the satisfaction of lust when you're done sleeping with that dog. You should feel that way. That if I get to keep this fulfillment or this satisfaction or this money or this house or this car by disobeying the Most High, then I hate those things. So why do we hate people? Why do we hate smoking weed? Because that goes against God's law. So I hate it. Why do I hate sleeping with white women? Because it goes against God's law. So I hate it. I hate anything that keeps me from serving the Most High. And that's what this brother was doing. Keep going. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And from him I hope to receive them again.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 12. Insomuch that the king and they that were with him marveled at the young man's courage, for that he nothing regarded the pains. Now when this man was dead also, they tormented and mangled the fourth in like manner. So when he was ready to die, he said thus, it is good being put to death by men, to look for hope from God, to be raised up again by him. As for thee, thou shalt have no resurrection to life. Verse 15. Afterward, they brought the fifth also and mangled him. Then looked he unto the king and said, thou hast power over men. Thou art corruptible. Thou doest what thou wilt. Yet think not that our nation is forsaken of the Most High.
Think not that the nation of Israel, that the nation of Yasharallah is forsaken by the Lord. Yeah, we are in bondage now. Yeah, we have to drink from water from Flint, Michigan now. Yeah, we're broken now and suffering from drug addiction and homelessness and diabetes and gout and high blood pressure and heart attacks and cancer now. But don't think that our nation is forsaken by the Most High. Don't think he's forgotten about us. Keep going.
Okay. Just like you. Verse 17. But abide a while, and behold his great power, how he will torment thee and thy seed.
But behold how he will torment thee and thy seed. Right? You understand? Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers. It's all in this Bible, right? Keep going.
Verse 18. After him also they brought the sixth, who being ready to die said, be not deceived without cause, for we suffer these things for ourselves, having sinned against our God. Therefore marvelous things are done unto us.
Keep going.
Verse 19. But think not thou that takest in hand to strive against the Most High, that thou shalt escape unpunished. Verse 20. But the mother was marvelous above all, and worthy of honorable memory. For when she saw her 7 sons slain within the space of one day, she bare it with a good courage, because of the hope that she had in the Lord.
This woman was worthy of honorable memory. Think of her the next time you get that sausage biscuit.
That's right.
Think of her. You understand? Think of your foremothers and your fore ancestors, man, and your brethren, man, your brethren and your sisters, man. You understand? Think of these women who went through these type of things, man, who had to fight to serve the Most High while you willingly disobey him, while you willingly be the most wicked bastard on the face of the planet Earth. Think of these people who had to die just to serve the Most High. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 21. Yea, she exhorted every one of them in her own language.
I wish I was there for that. I want to hear what she said. Keep going.
Filled with courageous spirits, and stirring up her womanish thoughts with a manly stomach. She said unto them, I cannot tell how ye came into my womb, for I neither gave you breath nor life, neither was it I that formed the members of every one of you. Verse 23.
And it's like, meaning what? Because we all know that a woman can be a certain way. A woman can be very emotional. Now, this woman is losing her damn sons that she raised. And she is standing there manly, meaning strong, in the face of her children dying. And she's saying, I cannot tell you how you came in my womb. I cannot, neither did I give you breath nor life. Neither was it that me that formed the members of every one of you. Keep going.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Verse 23, but doubtless the creator of the world, who formed the generation of man and found out the beginning of all things, will also of his own mercy give you breath and life again, as ye now regard not your own selves for his law's sake.
You won't save your life and disobey the Most High. You understand? Go ahead.
So, like, if I may say, this sister just cut, like, first of all, she cut every wicked bastard in that room that did what they did.
Right.
But she also cut so many Christians and so many fake Israelites. And so there's like 4 different things she just cut topics. She just proved, first of all, that it's not reincarnation as we say it, but that you come back.
Right.
So that's official. She said that.
She did that with not many words.
Right. Con.
She cut them with.
And if I may, she also cut RBG Blackity Blacks, who say the black woman is God. Right. These are her 7. She has 7 sons. Right. And she's saying, I didn't form your limbs. Right. I didn't put you in my womb. Right. Lord did it.
Right. You understand?
Salaki.
You know what time we got?
9:10.
We're gonna end it there. But of course, you understand this woman and her 7 sons had to go through this, man. You understand? This happened. This is what, like, even if you don't believe this story, this happened. The Greeks did this to us. We can read in Babylon to Timbuktu how many atrocities did to us. This is what happened. This is just one story that's written down in our records. But this was normal. This wasn't for Christmas, let's pull out the cauldron and do something new. This is something they practiced over and over and over again. They would go to sleep and think of wicked things that they could do the next day and be like, damn, I wonder if we cut the heads off and stick them on a stake. Will that make them serve us? And they would wake up the next morning and do it. This happened all because we did not want to serve them. And the ones who died, they proved their allegiance to the Most High. You understand? You coming into the Isupk, you should prove your allegiance to the Most High and to this school, man, every day of your life. You understand? The Isupk is not affiliated with nobody else. No fake Hebrew Israelite group, no Christian church, no Muslim mosque, no nothing. You understand? And our loyalty is with us and us only.
That's right.
That's all it's going to be with, man. Like these women before. You understand? And that's it. Like what Christ was teaching us, man, was to be loyal to us, man. And that's what we have to understand. As a nation of people, we have to understand what we have to be loyal to again. These laws, statutes, and commandments is what we have to be loyal to. You understand? And so you should think about these brothers. You should think about this woman and her 7 sons and what she went through before you go and do whatever you think that you want to do. Think about Christ. You understand? Think about the feelings that he had, the emotions that he had before he had to go die for us, man. Think about these things before you decide to go be the most wicked bastard on the face of the planet Earth, man, and then change it.
That's right.
Change your life, man, and then start to follow these law, statutes, commandments under Commander Jenny Hana Isupk, man. And with that, I'm going to pass the class over to Priest and Officer Thaba 1.